do not become, I would say, the centers for quality. They have to continue to evolve themselves as centers for quality. Same way, we cannot make anybody as a quality implementer in a 3 days or a 4 days program. Those programs are also to sensitize them to become a quality implementer. So we realize that to make them meaningful quality implementers, CAHO had to come out with more programs to continue to engage with them. And that's where we started having webinars and number of vertical training programs, which all these quality implementers in particular, but even other people started to join. So over a period of time today, we are really proud that we have almost 57, in fact, even more, because even as we talk, almost every 2 days or 3 days or a week, something new is getting started. So many programs have been started. We have masterclass series, continuing quality education series, continuing diagnostic education series. It has been phenomenal. So we also started with a lot of certification programs. In fact, I will say we are very proud that the International Society for Quality, ISQA is the body which gives accreditation to the accreditation bodies like NABH and Joint Commission. We have been in, I would say, closely working with ISQA. And the fellowship program of ISQA in Southeast Asia is now the CAHO ISQA fellowship. The members of CAHO get some discount in joining the ISQA program. And for maintaining the fellowship, merely attending CAHO Con has been declared as good enough reason for you to continue to have your fellowship being reviewed or renewed. Otherwise, you have to, again, do something more to continue to have your fellowship with ISQA. We also have international programs with some international bodies on leadership and on risk management. And we have some national certification program that have started on the infection control practices, and many more are coming. We do, I would say, a lot of webinars, and of which, again, as I said, we are very proud of the ISQA CAHO webinars, which are being held on every first Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m. And I will say that as Centers for Quality Promotion, I'll implore that this webinar on every first Tuesday of the 5 p.m. should become like a monthly quality meeting for your hospitals. You can invite even the nearby small hospitals besides your own other departmental heads, because this day, some important topic is being discussed, and your own quality person can also be there to continue to have this discussion with the people so as to promote quality. We have similarly diagnostic webinars, many general webinars, students webinars, lot of, I will say, we have been working towards how do we make ourselves more relevant to the healthcare institutions. And in that direction, for example, we all understand that providing consent forms has been a huge challenge. So this is something that is going to come to you very soon in the form that today the consent forms need to be validated consent forms. They should be in different languages. They can also be in audiovisual format. So we are coming out with a technology kind of a software solution where you can just download that form, etc. And this will be a huge, I would say, benefit. This other program of Convert is the confidential reporting of the events in the hospitals. I think one of the greatest problems we have had is that whenever there is a problem in the hospital, we all sweep it under the carpet. We don't want people to know about it. And I don't think that it's very natural to do that. But somehow we have to understand it's a huge loss of an opportunity to learn from something that has happened. I feel that, for example, I remember in the hospital that my hospital was being assessed, our principal assessor could not come in time. And, the reason is that in his own hospital, you see, the anesthetist had come out of the operation theater and after a prolonged surgery, and there was a Bisleri water bottle lying, drank from that bottle, and it was a formaldehyde, and had severe esophageal burns, was in the hospitals, I'm sure, for I don't know how many. The issue is this, that an error like that is something, it is going to happen in any other place also if you are not going to learn from this mistake. So these kind of stories are hugely important, and convert is one such area where we are wanting you to collate your adverse events or near miss events on this platform anonymously. We don't want to know the name of the organization or the person, but let's know the problem, what happened. Let's go into the root cause analysis. And I must say, CAHO is very proud that we have even brought out 2 publications detailing some of the adverse events and their root cause analysis. And they are very popularly being. Similarly, we are working on the cyber security issues. We are working on a statutory compliance tracker. Fire safety audit is something, another thing. We have come out with a fire safety audit tool that a hospital you can yourself try to understand what is the gap in your own fire safety issues. Many things we can. I think the other thing that CAHO can be very proud of, and as well as I would say, is where I feel we are going to make a difference in making healthcare safer, and maybe we will show to the world, we will be the world leaders by taking this particular step. And what we realize, that this all issue of patient safety being talked only to the doctors or the quality managers or the nurses is not enough. There are many people. I think 30-40% of the healthcare workforce is outside this group of people. So they were healthcare engineers, and they are so important in the functioning of the hospital. Your infrastructure engineers, the biomedical engineers, your rehab specialists, pharmacists, your dietitians. Even now it is, when we talk about the holistic medicine, the people from the Ayush sector, the housekeeping people. So all these people, we have now created forums so that we should get their voice into the mainstream. And we are also talking about the role that they can play. We are also talking about the good practices in each of these areas to make healthcare safer. We are also reaching out to students. We are also reaching out to the healthcare administration students as well as to the medical students. So I've told you various forums which have been created. And again, I think one of the most important stakeholder has been the patient. And it is in mind, we have created Patients for Patient Safety initiative was done. And now the Patients for Patient Safety initiative has been converted into Patients for Patient Safety Foundation, which is being led independently with the support of CAHO to take up this entire, I would say, issue of engaging with the community and get their feedback. We have been working for creating patients advisory councils, as well as taking up the cause of patients reported experience measures and outcome measures. I think Dr. Lalu Joseph may probably talk a little more about these things. Another area where we found that we have been lacking, and we didn't have, I would say, enough bandwidth to do this. But for the last 2-3 years, now we have started to focus on that we need research. We need evidence for people to understand what are we talking about. So I would say CAHO is now coming up in a big way of involving all of you. Let's involve all hospitals, individuals to do meaningful research and publications so that we are seen as credible force, not only in our own country, I will say globally. So, and a research journal, this was initially by QAI, has been now taken over by CAHO. And very soon, we hope that in a year's time, it should become an index journal. Friends, we organize, I would say, number of annual events. It can be any organization, if it is organizing more than one annual event, can be proud of. Number of organizations will find it hard even to organize one annual event every year. We are organizing 4 or 5. So our signature event, CAHO Con, is there this year. It is going to be in April in Delhi on the 11th, 12th, and 13th of April. 12th and 13th is the main conference. On 11th April is going to be the pre-conference workshops. The city of Kolkata is still will be very, very fresh with the entire memory of how CAHOCon was organized in your city. Delhi will have to work very hard to overcome the kind of energy and the enthusiasm that your city had shown. But on 11th of April, I can tell you that more than 16, 17 hospitals are going to have pre-conference workshops in the various hospitals in the National Capital Region. And on 12th and 13th, we are going to have this conference at Hotel Pullman. And I hope that many of you would be joining that conference. We have CAHO Diagnostic on. So another leap, I would say, of faith that has taken place by the diagnostic wing, by our lab wing. So earlier, the lab conference and the CAHOCon were like just about almost together. So now this is being held independently on 8th and 9th of February, again this time in Delhi at Hotel Eros. And we have SACON, which is the annual student hospital, is focused on hospital administration students. And we have CAHO Tech, which is another very, very important conference of bringing technology and healthcare together. As we are seeing, over a period of time, you are seeing a lot of technology being kind of woven into our functioning. Recently concluded CAHO Tech at Bangalore was a huge this thing. We also celebrate the World Patient Safety Day around the 17th of September every year. And we feel that the entire journey of CAHO has been successful only because we are inclusive and we believe in collaborations. And I will say that Centers for Quality Promotion is one great area of collaboration where we feel that now the responsibility of promoting this entire culture of safety within your own organization is not only within your organization, it has to be around and surrounding your small and medium hospitals. Yeah. Please include them in this journey. Open your doors, show them the good work that you are doing. And I think it is also a very good ethical way of developing a kind of a relationship which should also benefit you commercially. We also collaborate with associations, with the societies, with institutions, with industry. Industry is now coming forward, I think, in a very, very huge way. And we are trying to show how industry and a movement or an organization like CAHO can work together so that it is for the benefit of promoting patient safety. We organize a number of competitions so as to, again, stimulate and motivate people so that they can be recognized. Promoting healthcare technology, as I said, through the CAHO Tech as well as even otherwise has been a huge area for us. So what we have also done is that in today's date, what you see is that number of startups, there are a number of mobile apps, there are a number of things which have come up and they're highly fragmented. So we have come out with a health tech directory. So health tech directory, we are inviting everybody to post whatever new innovations, etc. have been put can be there in the directory, and it will help them in association with this thing. We have been coming out with a weekly kind of a update, which we call as the Friday update to all of the members. Otherwise, so much has been coming out that every day you'll have many communications. To avoid that, there is a weekly Friday update. We have a monthly magazine that we had started, Dialogue. However, we are sorry that in this year, the regularity could not be maintained. So now it is being rechristened, and from January onwards, you are going to have a little modified, revised version of a monthly magazine called Healthcare Dialogue, or we may think of something. CAHO pods are, again, we are taking the various experts in the healthcare domain. Their bites, their kind of a video is being released every 15 days along with business world. Number of books are now being released, which you will see during our annual conference at CAHOCon or otherwise. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so much to kind of that otherwise we can go on and on. Uh, I can only tell you that even our every governing committee member, sometimes even our patrons, etc., are not really aware. Sometimes I'm not aware of sometimes that all right, what new thing has started. Sometimes even Ralu will not be aware is this what something new is brewing on somewhere else. But I can say that we are like a big family. We are a family full of love, full of affection, full of inclusion, and we are marching together because our family is getting now extended by a great family like ILS. I congratulate and we congratulate CAHO, we congratulate you. Thank you so much. Let me just. So thank you very much. And I would say that again, there is a responsibility on every hospital. Not only it's not CAHO, but I would say that, like I was just saying, that every hospital needs to focus on promoting patient safety quality by taking those concepts to every department and function. I'll say, please do not leave it to the level that an accreditation body is asking you to do. Let's try to get the voice of every person working in the hospital towards this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Agarwal. Now I would request Dr. Lalu Joseph, Secretary General CAHO, to enlighten us on 6 domains of quality. Ma'am, please.
Very good morning. I think there's lots to celebrate. First of all, hearty congratulations to ILS, Dum Dum, and Agartala for becoming the centers for quality promotion. I can only tell you it's a big responsibility that you have taken. There are lots and lots of hospitals, people that require help from CAHO, from all of us, to take them to the next level of excellence. So the whole idea of CAHO is collaboration, coming together, bringing hospitals together, bringing healthcare professionals together. And so far, we have been successful in doing that. I don't think any other platform had the real bandwidth built to get everybody together, talking together for the benefit of patients and patient safety. So you have a very, very big responsibility, Dr. Goel, and it's going to be, and we are really looking forward to wonders, particularly in the region, because this region requires a lot of help. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate Dolly Bishwas for the wonderful job. I think we should all give her a big round of applause for saving the life of a patient. And that's all about healthcare and the training that we undertake. It's not just within our hospital ecosystem, but wherever we are. It is for us to show the love to the patients that we share. Congratulations to you. And talking about CAHO, I think Dr. Agarwal has spoken enough. We say we are all the time CAHOing. Now we have a lot more partners to sing this song, the music of CAHO. So welcome to the family. It's a beautiful family. It's all of us together in this journey. And we really have, we are amused to see the kind of energy and enthusiasm as we move around the country and now abroad. We are starting, I think Dr. Agarwal forgot to mention about the CAHO International. So we have a CAHO International Forum and, we are having our first conference at Nepal next week. So that's NEPACON. And in the month of January, we are moving to Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka is going to be hosting the conference, the LankaCon at Sri Lanka. And then we move to and then we move to Abu Dhabi in the month of February. So people are opening with, they are really excited With open arms, they're welcoming CAHO. So it's not all of us in the leadership at CAHO. It is all of us together. And that's the journey. It's a beautiful journey. And I welcome all of you to join this beautiful journey. How many of you here are life members of CAHO? That's nice to see. The very first meeting when I asked in one of the forums, how many of you know about CAHO? Nobody. And Rama used to say, oh, people don't seem to know about CAHO. Yesterday, she tells me, I'm very scared with the movement. We'll have to sit down and consolidate. We'll have to think. I said, Rama, today we have a lot of people who have joined us. We don't have to worry. They will take it forward. So welcome all of you to join this beautiful journey of quality, patient safety, and accreditation. So let me take about 10 minutes to talk to you about quality. That's the DNA. That's the DNA of this organization. Quality and patient safety go hand in glove. They are together. So quality is all about meeting the stated and implied needs of our patients. We have to understand quality is not for us. It is for the patients that we serve. So it is meeting their stated and implied needs. I give this example everywhere. What is a stated need and what is an implied need? The easiest way is to explain through the example of a dosa. So you are very hungry, morning rounds, very busy rounds. At 10 o'clock, you decide to have something to eat. Probably your wife didn't make a breakfast that morning. So you're very hungry and then you want to just rush out and have a dosa. You get to the hotel just across the road and you're not going to ask for anything, the menu card. You're just going to state, please give me a dosa. That's the stated need. Now, if the server comes without a glove, without mask, without any protective measures, and he's scratching his hands, he's scratching his head, and the temperature is 27 degrees, he brings a glass of water, his finger onto that just places it there, and after 10 minutes, he brings the dosa. Dosa is beautiful, hot and crispy. And the sambar is very cold. You taste the dosa, dosa tastes very good. Are you going to be happy? No. But you only asked for the dosa. That's your stated need. You never told him you have to wash your hands. You should be wearing your glove, mask, and apron. You should be smiling. You should be polite. You never told him all that. You never said that the temperature of the place should be 22 to 24. No smell of sambar in that place. You never asked for all that. You wanted piping hot sambar, yet you wanted everything, right? So those are the implied needs. That's the same situation our patients are in. When a young lady brings her son, she only says, make him well. He's in your hands. Get him well. She never asks for anything else. Her stated need is only to get the child all right. But the implied needs are far too many. She wants the place to be clean. She wants the healthcare workers to talk to her. She wants the nurses to talk to her, the doctors to talk to her before drawing the blood to say why you're drawing the blood. What are you doing? What do you expect? Why are you documenting so many things? What are you writing there? When you're taking the consent, please explain to me what you're going to be doing. The implied needs are far too many. All our accreditation standards, if you look at it, are only addressing those implied needs of the patients. It's one way or the other, an implied need either of the patient or the healthcare providers in the hospital or the environment itself. So if you take it in that direction, that we are actually addressing the implied needs of our stakeholders, then this accreditation exercise is a beautiful exercise. And you do it for the intent and not for checklists. Checklists are a joke. You go into the ICU the morning at 6 a.m., all your beautiful BAP, COTI, CLAPSI bundles are all ticked because your quality manager will probably be auditing or your infection control officer. Even before the mouth care is given, it is ticked. Even before the cleaning has happened, the COTI bundle is ticked. That's the problem. Most of them have become tickless. So we need to be very careful that we are doing it with the right intent. And that is where people like us, people who have experienced this beautiful journey are most needed because we bring in our value and perspective into why things are done. That's all about quality and patient safety and accreditation. But let me tell you, this quality, the Institute of Medicine has put down 6 domains for this quality. We call it the STEEP. STEEEP. It's not STEEP. It's a spelling mistake. STEEEP. The first domain, S, stands for safety. So when there is safety, when there is patient safety, when there's the culture in the organization, automatically quality comes in. So the most important domain here is safety. The second thing is timeliness. Whatever we do, immediate. The turnaround times of our lab results, the radiology results, the turnaround time of even seeing a patient, triaging a patient. Why do we say the nurses should see the patient and document within 2 hours? The doctors should complete their history within 24 hours. All these are for timeliness of action, immediate resuscitation. Why? So the timeliness is so crucial to have better outcomes. The first E stands for effectiveness. How effective are we? Our decisions, are we using some kind of a clinical decision support system? Are we going by standard based practices, evidence based practices? That is what is the third E stands for. Effectiveness, efficiency. You can be extremely effective, but how efficient are you? There are two housekeeping people. One cleans this place in 10 minutes beautifully well. Another one probably cleans it in 20 minutes beautifully well. Who is efficient and who is effective? Both are effective because they've done their job beautifully well. But the housekeeping staff number one is more efficient because he's completed in 10 minutes, whereas the other one took 20 minutes. So, what is also important is to look at efficiency in a big way. How efficient are we with the delivery, with the healthcare delivery? And the fifth one, which is the E, is for equity, treating everybody equal. Today, we have beautiful systems, technology in place where you don't have to monitor the general patients with, 1 in 6 nursing, and a private patient probably for every third bed, you have one nurse available. Today, technology is a force multiplier. It is our friend. And you have contactless remote monitoring that can monitor every patient every minute, every second. It is a level player. So every patient is monitored. You don't have to wake him up at 2 a.m. I had this experience with great difficulty when I was admitted. I went to sleep, and they gave me a medicine called Trazodone to put me to sleep in the night. And at 2 a.m., the nurse came, checked my pulse, my BP, everything, and I woke up. After that, I never slept. She did her job. But imagine today, I can very well understand. Contactless remote monitoring would do that job. Why wake up that patient and wake him up and ask whether he's okay, and then he is not okay after that? So technology today is a level player, whether it is your general bed or your private bed or your semi-private bed or your ICU bed, all patients can be monitored equally. Your home care patients can be monitored. There are several beautiful tools like this available. Telemedicine is another example. Anybody can access healthcare from anywhere. So these are some ways that we must improve to better our quality. And the last one is patient-centeredness. In my opinion, that is the first one. Today, if we don't partner with our patients, we will soon be at loss or already at loss. Trust deficit is there everywhere. People don't trust us. They think healthcare workers are all there to fleece money. They are not competent. So they go doctor shopping, hospital shopping from one place to the other. I come from a tertiary teaching medical college in the South, and I know exactly how many patients come there all over the country just to get an opinion and go, just to make sure that, okay, my doctor here said this, is it okay? So they just want to be reiterated. There is trust deficit, and every single day we hear about mob violence. Why? Because we're not engaging with our patients. How do you engage? Talk to them. Find out, give them the time. Do we have time? We don't. There are other measures by which you can engage, like patient reported experience measures, patient reported outcome measures, where we make them partners in the care delivery. If you understand whether your SOPs are implemented through your patient, then you are a success. I was an engaged patient. When I went in for my surgery, though they had this X mark here, I was only concerned about that X mark. I would have never allowed my surgeon to operate on the other eye because I was an engaged patient. Now, if you don't tell your patient why that X mark is put, he probably thinks that something, just like that, somebody is putting a mark there, a surgical site marking. Your patient, if he's engaged, he will never allow the clinical teams to make a mistake. If he's an engaged patient, he'll ask you to wash your hands. That's good for us. A reiteration. just to make sure that we are doing the right things. So patient engagement is the key. And I would strongly urge ILS hospitals, both our centers for quality promotion, to start the patient advisory committee. You engage with patients who are your long-term patients. We are evolving a training program to train patient advocates as to what their role is going to be in an advocacy setting. They cannot come and demand everything. It's going to be for quality improvement of the hospital. You are engaging with them. You are making them champion the cause of patient safety and your hospital operations. So I would urge both the units to start the patient advisory committee. We will support you through our Patients for Patient Safety Forum. So if you have these 6 domains that I talked about, safety, timeliness, effectiveness, efficiency, equity, and patient-centeredness, quality of healthcare delivery will be there. So it is a lesson for us that we adopt to the Institute of Medicine 6 domains, and certainly we will be a success. My hearty congratulations to both the units as they stand tall today as the centers of quality promotion. I think they are the first in Tripura and also in West Bengal. We don't have a center for quality promotion now. We've got many requests coming forward. So we are actually exploring the possibility of tying up with several hospitals because the region needs far too many centers for quality promotion. We are in this journey together. Let's join hands to make healthcare safer for our patients and probably the best in the globe. India has lots to offer to the globe, and let's take that as a challenge and work and march towards making this beautiful industry the best in the globe. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Lalu Joseph. I would now like to call Dr. Shankar Sengupta, Vice President CAHO, to give an insight on challenges of a hospital to become a center for quality promotion. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. It gives me immense pleasure to see that the leadership of CAHO, leadership of ILS are over here to witness the first CQP of this region to be installed. While we are doing the conference this year, we are just thinking that whether we'll be able to keep the enthusiasm over here the similar way down to the line. Today, our regional leadership, our zonal leadership, Dr. Jeet Patwari, Sudeep, they have made it a point. Yes, the saga will go on. Thank you, ILS, for being the partnership. I would like to pay my thanks to the leadership, Vijay sir, who has made us learn that CAHO is not an organization. CAHO is a movement. We all are activists. We all are soldiers. We all want to take the quality from the clutches of the elite to the even the best level people, the last level people. And that is why our journey starts from beginning, that is called patient. I'm thankful to see some people like Abanti Gopan over here. I must say about her, because she is the person who led the first accreditation or accredited hospital in this part of the country. And then we lost the glory. I'm thankful to our leader of the leaders of CAHO, Dr. Lalu Joseph, very selfless lady, who is making it a point that the patient flow to Vellore will be automatically ceased. His many CQP comes. So that is something which I would like to proudly announce, that is CAHO. The selflessness is what is there in the leadership of CAHO. You know what is CQP already, a Center for Quality Promotion. Many things will be talked about and many things will be known to you while doing this practice. See, becoming a CQP is not difficult. Maintaining the CQP is more important. And that is where you have to show the path. You are now the leader. You have got the more responsibility. Because to see you, many people will come across. They would like to be the same way quality delivering hospitals, HCO. And that is where people want to become CQP. They want to become CQP because they want to become the pioneer of the healthcare quality. So when we call who can be CQP, anybody can be CQP. Even if you are not accredited, then also I believe you can be a CQP. Because many think no. I am telling no. What I am telling, listen to me first. Listen to me first. When CMC Vellore got the accreditation much later, the first corporate hospital in this part of the country, CMRI, got the accreditation much later than BM Birla. That means they were not doing any quality so far. It is not like that. Yes, but CAHO has made it a point that if you want to become the CQP under CAHO, then you have to become at least an accredited organization. So you have to make me, yes, make me allowed to talk. So, and it comes with the rider. The rider is at least 5 quality professionals should be trained in advanced CPQH. That is what is important, because otherwise you cannot be trainer of the trainers. What you have to make in your hospital, because the quality of patient safety will be enhanced only many more qualified patient safety professional, the quality professional comes out. And that is only possible if you have a trainer of the trainers. And that is why you require some of you to be devoted in this quality journey, as well as becoming a quality professional in CPQH program. What are the main challenges? Dr. Vijay Agarwal sir, our leader, our president of the organization, today morning he has told, accreditation is not the end. Accreditation is the starting. Accreditation is the starting for improving the quality management system in your hospital. And as all of you know, there are a lot of resistance whenever you are trying to do anything, proper quality management system. And entire quality management system is a triangle: structure, process, outcome. So you will have the resistance to change. You will have the limited resources and budget from your organization. You will have hard to measure quality metrics. You have got the rigid and inflexible strategy sometimes from the hierarchy. Sometimes good also. This kind of leadership has made it a point that you become a CQP, not all hierarchy. And then indifferent attitude to customer feedback. This is something which we don't do in our country. At least we're not doing. CAHO was made by NABH. And that was something, some boon the country has got. Because today, now because of CAHO, people have understood why patient feedback is important. Now, no standard can teach you. Only the practice can teach you. The workshop can teach you. The training can teach you. And that is what CAHO has done. So CAHO has done what? Creating a culture of quality, which is the most important challenge. So create the culture of quality, something like that. We always used to look at in the conferences to the South lobby. You know, in the parliament, we are the minority. In the parliament of CAHO, we are the minority. We used to always look at the South lobby. So we have to do the same thing. Right? So tomorrow, we have to become. So madam has told it. So tomorrow we have to become similar to them. And maybe we have to circumvent to them. Maybe we have to overcome them. One more thing is important. The negative factors we cannot allow to happen. There are 7 negative factors which can affect the total quality management. Process factor, type of employee, shared values, management style, organizational structure, number of employees, very important. You have to have the efficient employee number, not effective employee number. Madam has told today morning, effective and efficient. So you have to have the number of efficient employees more rather than the effective employees, and industrial relationships, which in fact CAHO is now propagating or promoting the industrial relationship. That will really make you learn a lot of things. Now, last thing which I am supposed to talk about, I've talked a lot of things which may not be very relevant, I do not know. But this is the only relevant thing I can tell you. That is what are the challenges to become CQP? Actually, CQP is something, first thing you have to, it has to come from your heart. That you want to be CQP. Once it comes from your heart, then you have got 5 challenges. Simple. Lack of clear quality objectives and metrics should not happen in your institute. Lack of employee engagement and training should not happen. That is why we have made it a point that you have to become a CPQ-wise advanced program holder. And then lack of customer feedback. You cannot allow. Customer feedback and involvement is most important to become a CQP. And continuous improvement and innovation is also a part of your journey. Remember, I would rather tell not continuous improvement, I would rather tell continual improvement, because there is a difference between continual and continuous. So that is where we want a CQP to become. And last and most important is that integration and collaboration to the different factors, to the different factorials, to the different quality, journeys. So that is the 5 challenges which I can see to become the CQP or CAHO CQP in future, which I think any organization, any good quality driven organization can really achieve. So we have got a lot of collaborations. By the time I'm sorry, this is the wrong slide. I think now we have got 38 plus CQP. And we were the first in the Eastern Zone. I'm sure that many more is going to come. And with that hope, I can tell you that like 10 commandments, you also have 10 key responsibilities. And those are, you have to do some meeting. I think Rama Madam will talk about this, all these details. Yeah, so I will skip it off. So annual event participation, that CAHOCon participation is must. And because I am from the laboratory, basically I'm a laboratory professional, so I will always tell diagnostic on presence is also must. Okay, so the training program, something which you have to evolve, you have to take part, you have to do more and more training program. Please be proud to display the CQP logo. Research activities are online. CAHO forum nominations, you can make more or nominate more members of your hospital for the CAHO forum nomination. Annual CU and CXO meet, you have to, of course, that is a part of your journey as a CQP, and you have to maintain a lot of advanced CPQH program, support the annual CAHO annual conference, whatever way you can, at least send a good number of people from your hospital for CAHOCon and Diagnosticon. Last but not the least, that is annual report submission. That is something, because good organization always looked at your final annual review. That is why you know that the government takes the IT return. That is why we do the audited accounts. So similarly, the same audit is required for your performance in the quality journey. Nothing more than that. Thank you all. That's all what I can.
Thank you, Dr. Sengupta. Requesting Mrs. Rama Rajshekaran, co-chairperson CQP Forum CAHO, to talk about CQP Center, a way forward in the quality journey. Ma'am, please.
Morning, everybody. And first of all, big congratulations to ILS. And very proud to say from East, you're the first ones to get CQP. That's a very, very big achievement. And I really wish you all the very best. And as I just wanted to say that, of course, when I initially, of course, it was Dr. Alexander, I think all of you know him. He was the one who said, you must be part of CAHO. And I said, So enough, all this NABH, that was an assessor here. No, 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 you must become this. And he pushed me into it. The first meeting I attended was in Delhi, and it really opened my eyes because when I saw so many things, it was just initially, but it was, I think, one of the earliest meetings. It was so nice. I mean, something different than it's going to a medical conference with only your subject related. That was a real eye opener. And as Lalu said, I think we have gone way beyond, and we are really rocking internationally. I don't know where, and the amount of collaborations and the way people look towards us is something amazing. And as there are so many, the diversification is something which I really appreciate, as Vijay Agarwal sir said. I think that is what is really going to matter a lot to us. Excuse me. Yeah, as I said, I just wanted to congratulate ILS for this wonderful. It's a very, very big milestone because, I mean, initially I'm going to talk about the how quality and CQP are interrelated, but I took one of the main examples as my own hospital of how much I could see the change after being a CQP center. So when as all is very common things, few of it may be a repetition of what others have spoken. As definitely, I think it's CQP takes it like a hand and a glove. It both had to work, and naturally, quality immediately care takes the main focus. So because I just took these lines because it's just not improvement, just not fixing all these small problems, but how we try to transform the healthcare to definitely not only be better but be a role model. And especially the role when you being a CQP center, when you try to identify or in other smaller nursing homes or even clinics, when they come forward, we still have that. It is so gratifying. I mean, you really feel like, oh, come on, you can really talk to them and explain to what's happening. That is something which I felt was very important. And as everybody knows, it's of course, when Lalu has spoken, it's just what you do, how you do it, to whom you do it, and at what time. I mean, this is what, as everybody said, we focus on the patient safety, which is very, very important at today's world because of this media being always not only media, but the patient demands are more, and they definitely go for shopping and from one place to the other. They come back with, can we do this? Can we do that? I mean, what about AI? Will AI do everything, or the robot too? And you'll just be watching. And they have so many questions now because they're so well focused. So I think quality, when these are concerned, I mean, these have been taken up. I don't think we have any issues in having a best set of quality in healthcare. All these are the basic needs. These, I mean, I'm not going very abstract, but this, in fact, I mean, I was interacting with some foreign doctors, when I was telling that in India, when this is not a medical meeting, how much we focus on quality, they were very surprised because, as Sir said, in America, with their age, with the amount of inputs they put in for quality and where they stand. And for us, they say, oh, come on, India, do you all do this? Do you do this? Do you give so much importance to quality? And I told them that how much we have developed. Of course, I was talking definitely about CAHO, and it was something very new to them. They're all surgeons, so clinically they're not really oriented. But I told this, and that time when we had an interaction, and he said how important the quality. Yes, the not only it's just the patients, but how much of work we do as healthcare organizations. I was thinking these three are very important because to have a total quality management, I think, of course, you have to have quality assurance, and then quality control is very important. It's just not that we can go the way. I mean, there should be a little timeline, or everything should be well defined. So everything comes under the paraphernalia of how to go about it. And of course, as everybody knows, it's just not a one-day affair. It is just a continuous quality improvement. And I'm sure CAHO is there always to handhold and guide each and every, as Sir said, every services have been taken, every department is involved. I think that was a major transformation for CAHO, where you get a lot of more people into it. And as, of course, Lalu spoke about steep, it's so important. I mean, I had this slide already done. So it is to get the basic data, to get the basic data for quality. I mean, I always felt these were the 6 dimensions. She put it in a different way, but it is so same thing. I don't want to repeat again and again. It's just the timeliness. It is so important how you do it, when you do it, how quick you do it, how well we look into it. And definitely, uniqueness is something I always think. I always feel it when I just walk around my hospital. Even I ask my, as is a housekeeping people, for small ideas, and when they come out, madam, we can do like this. It is such an eye opener because we are focused in a different way, and I really thought that adds into quality because I've had a lot of feedbacks from them, and especially when I interact with them and give them this very holistic appearance of very relaxed, because we definitely have every week we have a yoga session. We have, of course, we celebrate all their birthdays, monthly ones, so that all the department from the senior most to my security, all of them, they celebrate the birthday once that month they all come together and we have a lot of fun. I mean, they felt so important. I mean, the importance given to them, I think, really matters a lot in the journey of quality, and consistency is very important. And how accurate you are, how perfect, how much we get into the depths of things is very important. And totally, it all has to become total complete. So when these 6 items are applied, I think you're already in the quality journey. I mean, and for that, I think as a CQP center, it really matters a lot because I took my own hospital examples, so that will be very easy for you to know what all we can do as a CQP center. We were the 25th in the country when we became, and everybody, especially our hospital is more focused on academics. And I said, what are you doing? In NAPH we've got. I said, no, NAPH doesn't stop with everything. There is more to it. And when I was explaining about all the CQP and what we're going to do, it was a real opening for them. And they also really got sensitized. And in fact, when I call in few of my doctors to get into the training part of it, they're quite encouraged to do this. Also, we really, as I said, to handhold and monitor all hospitals. That I felt was it's very, very effective. And of course, definitely we are the brand ambassadors of CAHO. And some of the activities which we did as a CQP center was when we had a CAHO HR conclave, which was very good because we had not only on health, but we had from different industries. Even today, I mean, a month back, I met one of the speakers. He said, "Oh my God, that session was so good." They felt it was just so many people can contribute to it. I mean, this one all was possible because when we were a CQP center, we thought we had to reach out to people. So this was very well attended and, of course, definitely appreciated. And as we have a lot of medical meetings, so we make sure that I definitely make sure there's a CAHO, at least a standee or a CAHO stall. And most of them now, especially my anesthetists, most of them are from different hospitals. They come to know, or they all aware of CAHO. They're very nice. Actually, very proud to say that in January, we are coming out with a safety anesthesia, patient safety getting released over there. So many of CAHO seniors have contributed to that. So that's something very nice. I mean, so that way the buzzword, the CAHO. And then when I talk about how to become a CQP center, it's something it really puts you on you're like a mother hen sitting over there trying to take care of all the little one, the chicks like. So that is something which I felt was very, very, personally, and I encourage definitely more hospitals to take up as CQP centers. And also, these are already, they have spoken, there are so many programs which we have, this online, offline programs. It is so good because it's right in your own place, and you just, make sure that they all are there. And sometimes very nice when they have some tests and, they have to perform well. So they have been scored, and so that way, I felt especially this fire safety was something amazing because the amount of things which I had gotten, and the way we see number of accidents happening even recently, it really makes you feel constantly very conscious about it. So that awareness has really crept in a lot with all these different online and offline programs which have been continuously happening. And also these of course, IMA, I always felt IMA because it's a more of a national body and they're more approachable for any program. So we try to do definitely as a CQP center, you can tie up with them and they're always hand holding because they have a lot of connecting with smaller nursing homes and clinics and, group practices people. So it's very easy for them to send one of few of their people to their training program. So that way, that is very, as a CQP center, in the quality journey, I think that you can play a very important role. And also all these different days which we are celebrating. That is something, because in a whole year there are some events happening, but you can always pick and choose. And summers, especially patient safety, we focus a lot on that, which is very important. And as already I mentioned, this hand holding, especially on this infection control. And when we talk about the 7 steps, they feel very nice. In fact, so nowadays we started giving them little booklets about about all this, and a learned patient, they really go through all this and they ask us a lot of questions. Oh, have you done that? Is this like this? The quite awareness is really moving a lot. And as a center, we have make sure we take in 5 new hospitals every year, identify 5, and try to handhold them and help them. I mean, even if it be from in and around Coimbatore, any area. So why I'm giving you all this is as it's very nice to know that you're the first center in this area, and of course, or really you have it in Agartala now and Damdam. So especially in Agartala, there are so many other small places, small hospitals which you can pick up and just guide them. That is something which is very gratifying because you feel you can really help them out. That's what. And of course, as sir already said, all these international webinars is something amazing because I always think their approach, their way of how they are looking at patient safety and how we do it. I mean, lots of learning is there, which is very possible because of being a CQP center. And we always make sure we call other people from other hospitals. I mean, what I'm saying is definitely can be replicated in yours. I mean, much better also. And end of it, when I look back, I mean, especially being a CQP center, I have I've really trained so many of my employees. This is just a small fraction of numbers who have really benefited from this. Who have they have all these not only access to free or paid online sessions, they feel they're a little more empowered. The empowerment has come in now, which is very very necessary, and all these different meetings we have, and now it really, I think, puts us into a definitely as a CQP center in the quality journey. I think this is very, very important. And the way things are growing, the way things are developing, I think, I mean, there's no end to it. And always there are new ideas coming in, new programs. And I really wish you all the very best. And I look forward to having you I mean, seeing more centers. And in fact, as we were sitting there, Lalu was saying another CQB center coming in Kochi, one again in Calcutta. I said, oh my God. So it's very nice to know there are more people, I mean, more hospitals want to come in as CQP centers. And I'm sure it's going to be one of the best things. And thank you and wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Mrs. Rama. I request Mr. Samrat Sanyal, Joint General Manager, Group Head Quality, ILS Hospitals, GPT Healthcare Limited, for sharing the quality journey of ILS hospitals from compliance to performance. Sir, please.
Good afternoon, all of you. So as you know, we are launching the CAHO ILS CQP Center today. Thank you all the dignitaries, especially from the CAHO delegates, for coming on our request. We will having many more sessions henceforth. You have already told me yesterday. Okay. So we welcome that open-heartedly. We are going to do that definitely. I'm just going to take you the brief of our journey to inequality. So as it's a World Quality Week, and this year's theme is from compliance to performance, for us, the journey has already started. We are already into the journey. So when you talk about a compliance, we're going to talk about something like a certification, accreditation, and excellence, comply to the standards. So our journey started in somewhere in 2018. Okay. And first we got our NABH entry-level certification for Tamdam and Agartala in 2019 and 2020. Then we have gone for NABH accreditation in 21, both of the areas, because that was a COVID period. Okay, so COVID hit on. So it took some time for us. Coming to NABH re-accreditation, it has happened in 2024. So this is for our NABH certification, accreditation, and re-accreditation. There are other units where we have our NABH ethics committee for ILS Saltec, which has happened in 2019. And we have NABL accreditation for Dum in 2020 and 2023 for Agartala. And also recently we gone for NABH nursing excellence for Agartala in 2024. And Reni Madam is here, our nursing head for Dum. We have applied for NABH excellence. Yeah, a day before yesterday. So all the units will be taken over. Now coming to performance, we usually brought it classify into operation excellence, patient safety and infection control, and patient-centric digital initiatives and people involvement. How we started the journey for our performance. First thing is we try to identify our key pain areas, which is through customer feedback and the voice of customer. We try to understand where are we actually lagging behind where the customers are saying. So one of the criteria of 10 criteria, customer feedback is already taken care of. We have already worked on it. Then we try to identify the different challenges. As you know, we have 4 hospitals and every hospital has their own challenge, which is related to process, people, and resource. They have their unique challenges. We had a brainstorming session with all the units, and finally we have gone for a process standardization. We adapted a methodology called critical pathway mapping, which is equals to value stream mapping. Usually in the Six Sigma or Lean, we talk about value stream mapping. We call it as a critical pathway mapping. So all the major processes, we have a critical pathway mapping done. Once we do that, then we have implemented it and processes are getting monitored on a weekly review. And we have a monthly AOP review. Dr. Goel was mentioning in the process excellence, we started a monthly review. We call it as AOP, annual operating plan. The review happens on a weekly and a monthly basis. Coming to next one is sustaining the performance through ownership. Is a very simple term. The department is responsible for owning the quality for their department. In simple terms, I always say, if I want to improve the quality of my life, I will have to work on it. No, not somebody else. So that's the ownership. And next, coming to the people involvement beyond development. It means it is not only people development, but involving them, giving them the ownership. Own for your own quality improvement. So we have moved from people development, which we talk most about our training, towards people involvement, owning the process and delivering. Okay, so that has been our movement. I'll just give you a glimpse of our operation excellence areas, as I told you. 3 of the areas we have talked about: discharge TAT, OPD waiting TAT, estimation, and lean management, which is 5S concepts we have applied. I don't want to make the presentation data heavy. I just want to show you some glimpse of it. Okay. So if you talk about the discharge process, as I talked about critical pathway mapping, this is a critical pathway mapping looks for a discharge process, where you see the major processes are there, the parallel processes are running along with a timeline. Okay. So this is a critical pathway mapping for our discharge process. We consider around 2 hours for our cash and 4 hours for our corporate. And if you see, this is how our weekly review goes. So if you can say week by week, and this happens for every single unit. Okay. So, I don't want to put everything, all unit data over here. This is a sample of it. I think I am covering the initial stage. It was around 3 hours. From that, we have gone to 1.5 hours. Okay. I am covering the top of the data. Sorry, I'm there. Okay. So you can see over it is around 1 hour, 22 minutes is a button. And it was around 3 hours at the top. So that's how we are making an improvement. And this shows performance. It is not only that we are monitoring the discharge stat, but over a period of time, we have really gone down. Coming to one of the movement we have taken for reducing the discharge stat, we call it as rapid. key areas which has to be done to achieve the goals rapid. And also all the units are encouraged to practice 5S, one of the concept in lead management, to reduce the wastage in process as well as in other functional areas. Coming to, as I told you, there are other critical pathways. I think I'm just keeping a go through it. I've not put on any data over here. Some estimation. So these are the critical pathway mapping has been discussed over there. In other forums, whenever we'll be meeting next, we can brainstorm on this, definitely. This is how a monthly AOP review dashboard looks like, which is headed by Dr. Goel. And I accompany him to identify what are the challenges are there.
I would like to say that the teams have been really participative, and they have changed the matrix. If you see somewhere when we started, I think
In the main,
7-8 months back, we used to have the discharge stat was 4 hours, now it's less than 2 hours. Waiting time was an hour, now it is 30 minutes,
less than 30 minutes.
25 minutes. So the matrices are showing a clear change. There's a lot of focus, and the teams have been very participative. All the thanks to all the unit leadership teams to really make this happen. Although I was very pushy to start with, but now they've really caught on to it. They now are competing and really making it happen. So, and Samrat, of course, keeps on. We keep on discussing this monthly. We have very open discussion. They share best practices. So somebody who's doing good, whatever processes they've adopted, we look at, encouraging them to take a lead, explain others. So we do a very scientific way also, how many standard deviations somebody has been out. We try and we are also taking classes on a weekly basis. Every Saturday we have a class where we take some management concept and encourage one of the speaker to talk with experience. So, he has made them learn a lot of statistical tools, analytical tools, fishbone. So now that's no more limited to quality people domain. So it is all the managers have started taking up. I'm proud to say all my ops team really, lead that from the front. They actually lead and they say, Abhi, mujhe class lena hai. Next time I'm working on this and doing this. All the great things.
Thank you. Our Raipur operation head is here. So there will be one more in the column. Okay, from February onwards. So this is how an AOP review goes, and we have open discussion. Okay, and you've seen the room also from where we conduct this. So it talks about managerial, it talks about patient safety, it talks about infection control, it talks about training. So all the gamuts are there in the AOP review. It also takes care of the incident reporting matrices, and it is fairly reported. Okay, we don't hide anything, don't push anything under the carpet. Thanks to the management, we always encourage to report incidents, and there is no penalization, because we know if you start penalizing, it will go under the carpet. We will never come to know. So we always encourage. There is no penalization for that. You can see the number of incidents are high. We have already gone through the data. Okay, because whenever I've seen in different audits, usually it's 0 or 1. Okay, no, we don't have. We have enough number of incident reporting being reported. We have a review on the customer satisfaction, in which is CSI as well as NPS. We have review on mock drills. We have review on committee performances. And further, there are more steps. Okay, because whenever there's a non-compliance, why RCA, kappa, those things comes out. Coming to the next one, we're talking about the performance of the performance level on the patient safety and infection control. There are fall prevention, spread of germs, which is infection control part, then prevention of bed sore, high-risk management, high-risk medication management, consent, PREM, and PROM. Just want to take a view over here. These are some of the activities we have done for fall prevention. This is placed in every toilet. What are the do's and don'ts for a fall? If you want to avoid fall, what are the things to be done? What are the things not to be done? If the patient has a high fall risk, there will be a tagging in front of the bed saying the high risk for fall. So you identify from the distance who are prone to this. Coming to infection control, apart from different steps of hand hygiene, these are some extra efforts we have taken. These are pasted all across the hospital for the engagement of the people. Okay. Barrier nursing, the nursing communication board, what we use for the different location for the hospital, which is being handled by the nursing heads, all are here. This is for the bed sore prevention, the clock. Thank you. For the clock, changing of position. And thank you to CAHO, you have taught us Appinch in this Bangalore. We have already implemented it. You can visit our hospital, you can see it well, and We implemented within 1 month of coming. Okay. So Appinch is there thanks to CAHO. We have a software. Okay. Of 1.5 year we have the software. We tried to, apart from regular EMR, we tried to incorporate all the tools in the software. Sure, you can see there's a Muse coding, Sophos coding and Apache coding we are using. It is software based. Calculate, you just enter the data, you'll get the entire calculation. Okay. Even you enter the value, things will come up. Okay. This is how the things goes like. We have Padua's coding for DVT. This is also software based. Then we have food drug interaction, which is also software based. Okay. So we try to make our moves in smaller steps, but we are going to do very fast. Okay. We'll implement it. Consents, as we talked about, we have procedure-specific consents. We are targeting about 30 by this month, this year end. 14 has already been done. 16 has already been done. 14 is under process. So hopefully another 1 or 2 months we'll be able to complete those. So 30 procedure-specific consents are in our system. Coming to Prem, thanks to CAHO again. You have taught us a lot on Prem. We have implemented all of them and I've given the credit over here. Refer to its reference is CAHO. Okay. And these are digital forms, okay, through a Google link you've taken, and the analysis and all those things has been taken care of the backend. Okay. Coming to prompts, we have procedure-specific prompts. Okay, Dr. Arijit is here. Dr. Arijit, okay, he was one of the person has helped us in developing the prompt forms, and we have procedure-specific prompt forms. Coming to incident reporting, we have a general incident reporting form, but one thing I just wanted to make you highlighted over here is 4W2H and 5Y, which are the two tools used for root cause analysis. We have imbibed inside the incident reporting form. So whenever the incident reporting comes, automatically from the department, the 5Y and 4W2H analysis has been done and comes to us. Okay, you can see over there on the side. Yeah, you can see over there. Yeah, there's a 5Y and the 4W2H tools are already imbibed into in the incident reporting format. Coming to some digital interventions, what we have done for the patient improvement areas, queue management, patient portal, self-registration kiosk, digitalization of medical record e-prescription, e-feedback system, and advanced CRM deployment. These are some glimpses we have. Queue management system. We have a patient portal from which they can download their prescription, their medical record, self-registration kiosk, not to lean management, as I talked about, not to waste time on a queue to do a registration. Okay, that's how we have performed on implemented the lean management. Coming to next one, digitalization of medical record and the e-prescription. We try to be paperless hospital. We are striving towards it. Our EMR compliance almost touching 90%, and it is 1.5 year old. Remember that. I mean, I've seen hospitals where struggling over years. Thank you for clapping. You can clap a little harder. Don't worry. No problem. I can hear the sound. Thank you. Okay, we have an e-feedback system. Again, that is paperless. So we have a good for a QR code scanning. Link will come and you can put on your feedback. Advanced CRM deployment for query and solving the query and solving, giving an appointment. All those things has been taken care of. So these are the few digital initiatives we have been taken. Lot of things are online, which I have not put on over here. Coming to performance, this I wanted to focus over here. We have moved from people development to people involvement. As I told you, people development is just giving a training and you go back to your home. You don't know what happens next. We understood the pain over there and we make sure first is get your ownership, that you are responsible for your department, involve yourself in the improvement. So the last person in the org structure is contributing something which is catering to the organizational goal. Okay, so that's why we move people development and people involvement. You are the only person appreciating so much. So I'm looking and talking to you. Thank you. Although everything she's saying, I'm okay. Good. Thank you very much. So,
looking at your presentation.
Thank you. Right. So as you have a requirement of 5 advanced CPQH, we have done 6 advanced CPQH. Okay. And we always continue. We have some more planned. I hope next thing is in Delhi. We have already discussed about it and we are going to go ahead with it. Yes, please. Okay. And we ensure that minimum criteria, because it's a group, we will ensure And that's the first promise I did to her, saying that whatever the minimum advanced CPQH requirement is there, we are definitely going to comply. Okay, so this is I'm somewhere there on the right. Okay. Now, after what we come back, we did a group-wide training program. Okay, for the people engagement and the people involvement. So you can see it's an online training program going on. Each hospital is participating. That's how we do we had used the advanced CPQH training model. Next, the knowledge club. I think we are discussing in the morning. This is forum. It's an informal forum, conceptualized by Dr. Goel. We just implemented it with your guidance. Thank you very much. It's an informal forum where everybody comes and showcase their involvement. So they make a presentation, they make a small talk. We had this knowledge club. It's recognition and participation, the main, and there are some glimpses of knowledge club where they had the last concept was A3 metrics and quality management tools. They have made their presentation. We have done a hospital level competition. Next, there will be a group level competition, and the winner and the runners up is going to participate in the CAHO Con. Okay, so we are already planning for it. Yeah, the first step is done. Second and third is left out. December we'll be having a group wide competition, and then in April we are going to appear on that. Taking forward our learning, we are learning. All of us are learning. The main reason behind collaborating with CAHO and seeking their guidance through first institutional membership. So all the 4 hospitals are institutional membership. The main over here is we want to learn, we want to develop for ourselves as well for the Eastern region. So that has been our aim. And I think we are the fastest ones. The idea came to my mind to inauguration of the CAHO. Okay, so that's our motto now. That's through ILS CAHO CQP. We want to make a change. We are serious about it, very serious about it. Guide us how we can develop our people and the neighboring hospital and our friends along with that. We will be requiring your guidance. So way ahead. A couple of things we wanted to talk about. One is operational excellence. We are developing it. Maybe by next financial year, we are launching ILOS OS. Okay, operating system. Clinical governance, we are looking for. It's under the development, under the, let's say, implementation. Development is being done under the implementation. Pharmacovigilance to software integration, I marked it as an asterisk. Yesterday on the dinner table, I was discussing, we need a better software and show me some other way apart from monopoly of SIMs. That's why it was in asterisk mode, so I don't forget. Next is software-based training module and e-learning module. We are already on the process of verging of implementation, integrated quality and safety module. NABH digital health standard. I think now we are ready. We will go ahead with it. And finally, our aim is next 2 to 3 years, we are planning for some international accreditation. It is in our pipeline. We wanted to get collaborated with you to guide us, understand, because JCI is everywhere, but implementability, visibility, we need to look it into and check out which international standards we can go for, accreditation we can go for. Please guide us. We are working towards it. Okay. So this is the way we are moving from compliance to performance. Sorry, this picture are from Google. Others are not. Okay, so we are moving from compliance to performance. Long way to go. We know we have started the journey. As I said, the journey has already begun to us. We will do better every day by every day. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Sanyal. Now I request Dr. Jeet Patwari, Chairperson, East Zone CAHO, to give us an insight on quality implementation in hospitals, challenges and limitations from Eastern India perspective. So please.
No, second last.
Good morning, everyone. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the ILS group for being recognized as CQP for both Damdam and Agartala. Been to Agartala many times, wonderful ambience and the facilities. And also would like to thank you for the wonderful hospitality here in Kolkata. So I'm going to discuss the quality implementation in hospitals, the challenges and limitations from the Eastern India perspective. I studied in Hyderabad along with Ms. Soma sitting here, worked in Delhi, moved to Hyderabad. And when I moved back to my place in Guwahati, joined UNICEF, and then my eyes opened that what is healthcare in the Eastern region. This is quite different from the rest of the country, starting from, Orissa, Bihar, West Bengal, and the northeastern states. The allotted time for me was 12:10 to 12:20, with a little bit of group discussion. This is a disclaimer which I have put here because I'm going to touch upon few points which might, be a bit controversial. Maybe somebody might mind, but this is not my intent to hurt anybody. So my previous speakers have already discussed about the quality, the importance of quality, the global standards, the national standards, and in Eastern India, this is very, very crucial. Now, effects of poor quality, these are the 5 major components where we usually face because of poor quality. Now, the key bottleneck in the northeastern India, I divide it into 4 A's, where affordability is one of the major aspect. Look at the GDP and the economic status of the people here in the Eastern India. It's quite different. More than that, the propensity to pay is very, very less. We still have a tendency to go to what Shankar referred to as South Lobby. But anyways, we have a tendency to go to Chennai Apollo and CMC Vellore. Yes. That is where I have used the word that a propensity to pay rather than affordability or capacity to pay. Number 1 is accessibility. If you look at the Eastern India, many states, even part of West Bengal is hilly, and the northeastern states, the majority of the areas are hilly. The terrain is very, very difficult, where getting the basic healthcare at times is a challenge. Then the awareness is very, very poor. When I joined and I went back to Guwahati and started my activities, it was really very, very difficult for me. Still today, we are struggling to, make people aware. And the availability of the services in few of the cities, I'll show the cities here in my next slides. Your hospital services in many cities or smaller towns, they operate from 9 to 5 or 10 to 6. After that, it's not there. Only the IPD functions, even the emergency is almost shut. We are talking about the ultra-modern hospitals, what we are discussing in all the forums. We are talking about the very high-end robotics. But if you look at the hospital in the smaller towns, we do not have the basic amenities. I feel this is something which we should actually put our focus on. What we preach about these aspects. We talk about NABH, NABL, we talk about the NQAS initiated by NHSRC, but this is one of the very, very difficult goals that the public hospitals have failed to, in fact, implement. But the reality is still struggling. We are having this kind of results. When we talk about Eastern India, Kolkata is the star, definitely, yes, with all the good hospitals here. A few hospitals with super specialty centers are there in other cities as well. But if you look at the different states along with the other cities, few of them are very, very populated. We do not have the proper tertiary care facilities except the secondary care. The resource constraints is number one, the limited infrastructure, the funding shortages, and the staff deficiencies. Now, when we talk about this, the professional shortage, inadequate training is a major component, limited access to training, and the brain drain. This is an assignment which we did as a group. We were hired by a state government in northeastern states. I have not mentioned here. The assignment which was done was to study the do the gap analysis as per NQAS, but we said NQAS was on the very higher end. We will do it in a scaled down version. Even the scaled down version had given us, the results which were quite alarming. We did infrastructure, the manpower, the processes, and the supply chain. These were the four major aspects we studied. And infrastructure was not up to the mark, in very dilapidated condition in many hospitals. Hygiene factor was very, very low. No alternate power. Even in one of the hospitals, they shared with us that delivery was conducted with the light from a torch and mobile phone. 1:30 a.m. So these are the conditions which are there in many, many cities or smaller town hospitals. And these are the few snapshots, some in Bihar and Nagaland and many other northeastern states, and still we are struggling. Challenges, number one is quality assurance roadblocks. Many a times we feel that there are resource limitations, are also there, cultural factors are there, regulatory obstacles, lack of understanding as to the quality practices. Both we have to look into. That is the beauty in CAHO, where we are not limiting ourselves to only the doctors or the quality professionals. We have got different forums where even the housekeeping and the other people, forget about the doctors, nursing, and the paramedics. We are looking into the engineers. We are looking, taking the pharmacists along with us, and also the housekeeping and the other people. For many of them, quality is a big financial burden. Still, the notion is there. And limited training and education where we are going to conduct. And as CQP, I'm very happy that ILS Hospital Agartala has come up, even Damdam has come up, that this is going to be a major success. Workforce shortages. We have got a lot of brain drain. We got people, you see Bengalis, Assamese, Nagas, and other people, Orissa people are working elsewhere. Now, it's like a chicken or the egg concept. I tried to bring in many people, my friends and my seniors, back to Guwahati. They said, you give us facilities, we will come. I spoke with few of the hospital owners. They said, you can give me a guarantee that they are going to come. We are going to establish the hospital. So in 2 or 3 instances, I managed to break this chicken or the egg concept. But again, the training gaps are there. So financial constraint, I will not delve into the details. Lack of training, awareness, this is one of the major aspects we really need to look into. We should not restrict ourselves only to the cities and the metros. We should percolate down to the lower level, because the basic comes from the rural areas. If we do not improve the primary care, the secondary, tertiary, and quaternary, it's going to be a very, very big failure. Geography and the transportation. I'll give you, please do not mind, I'm from Northeast, but I'm not focusing mainly on Northeast. I'm talking about the Eastern India perspective. In Arunachal, there are areas where people take 3/4 of a day to come down to reach a center to do an ECG or a chest X-ray or to give a blood sample. That day, that is not done. Next day, they will get an appointment if they are lucky. By evening, they will get the report. The next day, they will show it to the consultant. If allowed, they will go back. So 4 days to get the basic treatment. Now, these are real. There are a lot many real life stories like this. Now, transportation issues again because of the hilly terrain and the connectivity issues, where even you talk about Sikkim during the peak summers, it's cut off from the rest of the country. Even the airport, which is there, which hardly few people can afford, even the people who can afford, they cannot fly out of Sikkim because of the rough weather. Now, there are a lot many policy gaps because of the bureaucrats controlling the healthcare system, which I feel is a major setback to our system. Again, the regulatory hurdles, lack of incentives. Now, when we talk about regulatory hurdles, we talk about I'm mentioning about the pollution control board, the CPCB or the State Pollution Control Board. They would come to visit your hospital. They will identify these are the shortcomings in your hospital, but they will never give you a prescription as to how to amend this gap. I had a word with the member secretary and the chairman of Pollution Control Board of Assam. I said they are close friends and one of my teachers. So I asked them, Dada or sir, why don't you come up with a prescription? Otherwise, what is happening is that every year, when that happens, the inspection usually happens before the festivals, before Durga Puja, Bihu, which is a major festival, and before Eid. This is a fact. I told them frankly, Dada, your inspection happens during just before the festivals, but you never address these issues, and it has become a chronic, sinus like draining some sort of money out of the hospitals. Then slow adoption, digitalization challenges are there. Now, hospitals, this is one of the major aspects why quality is not happening in Eastern India, and I'm sure this is applicable in the rest of the country as well, because we have hospitals who are running after this COVID certificate. I run a consultancy firm where hospitals at times approach me, Jit, we want to go for NABH. I asked them, Dada or sir, do you want the certificate or do you want to implement the quality management systems in your hospital? In most of the hospitals, they would say, we will implement the quality management systems in our hospital, but first you help me getting the certificate. I said, you are talking to the wrong person, sir. Get some quality consultants in place. And every healthcare or quality conference you visit, you hit somebody, you introduce, hi, I'm Dr. Jita, who are you? I'm a quality consultant. What do? I do NABH certification and accreditation and NABL and something. And the copy-pasted SOPs in Guwahati, I happened, the owner told me, just go through these SOPs given by our consultant. And I could see the SOPs being copied directly from one of the very big hospitals from Kolkata. People forgot to, in fact, that was the final set of SOPs to be submitted to NABH. They forgot to, or they did not even bother to change the name of the hospital from Kolkata. Control F, replace Kolkata by Guwahati, replace all, maybe that is done. So-and-so hospital, Guwahati. That hospital never exists in Guwahati. Say ILS hospital in Guwahati, if at all I name, doesn't exist. So one of the hospitals, it wasn't ISL anyways, ILS, it wasn't. So this is something where, quality takes a back seat. Now, can we do something here? This is one of the major focus areas that I think we should work on. And this is, I'll just skip this. Before the assessment, what the 7 days that thing happens, this is, everybody is made to run. Even people who cannot run are put on these gadgets. And this is the day of assessment. Once you cross the day of assessment, on the day of, you become a snail. So on the day of assessment, your quality, the red line is the benchmark that you had set. On the day of assessment, it is high, very high, much higher than your expected or your benchmarked level. So once that is gone, your quality level comes down below your benchmark as well, because this is because of the 7-day syndrome that we have before assessment. So what we need to do, basically, the quality culture should be promoted. Number one, leadership support is very important. When the leaders look at the certificate, it is never going to happen. So engage all staff, patient-centered and continuous improvement. These have already been discussed. Technology, we should be using telemedicine, digital records. Vijay sir has mentioned, Samrat has also mentioned. Training should be there. Financial results. These are a few of the achievements that we should actually target. Now, how we the key takeaways: prioritize quality initiatives, promote quality culture, seek regulatory support, and leverage technology. Now, the essence of quality, it cannot happen like this. The management cannot whip and say that we should adopt quality practices. It should come from within. You should work towards, putting that feeling in your subordinates or your entire team, that it should come from within. So what we have done in CAHO is a training calendar where we have divided into 4 quarters starting from January. So here we have mentioned all the training programs for all the states. We will be sharing with the state representatives and the other people involved in that. And only the state representatives and the other people cannot do that. So we also have some learning quality programs with IIM Shillong. So we are going to have some master classes scheduled for January 17th and 18th. We'll be sharing the details. These are basically we do not charge the course fee. We charge only a small 500 rupees registration fee. Anyways, the road ahead, what we need to do is Center for Quality Promotion. We are targeting, to develop the district champions for CAHO. We have already identified few in the Northeast. Sudip is working for West Bengal. Mr. Satpathy is working for the state of Orissa. Dr. Satyajit is also working for the state of Bihar. We are yet to tap few states like Arunachal, Sikkim, Tripura, and Mizoram, where we are going to involve people who are the leaders there, rope them in CAHO, and which would comprise of the doctors, nurses, lab techs, and pharmacists, physicians, and many more. So join CAHO which is committed to safer patient care. Thank you for patient hearing. It's already open. It won't. Oh. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Patwari. Today we have a very special guest, Mrs. Abanti Gopan. We request her to please kindly come up on the stage and share a few words. Thank you, ma'am.
A very good afternoon, everyone gathered over here. And a lot of familiar faces. It's nice to see that. And I think I'm really caught unprepared. So you're testing my presence of mind, which actually is what our journey is about. Hearty congratulations to the ILS team for getting this achievement, and that too fast in this state. So it's a big round of applause for you. And what is appreciable is that you have gathered all the leaders of Calcutta sitting on a Sunday morning in this room. That's a big achievement. So thank you for inviting me also, even though I am not leading anywhere anymore. But still, it's a great pleasure to be among you all. And in any way, in any capacity, if I can be of any contribution or any support, I shall always be happy to give my best. Because we all talk about quality, we all talk about patience, we all talk about the journey, what we have achieved. And Calcutta, yes, Calcutta has started with the accreditation where I happen to be one of the persons leading in the hospital, as Dr. Shankar mentioned. And thank you for mentioning that. It was indeed, at that time, it was really a tremendous task. I think you all recall who all were with me at that time. You know, we were really struggling because even the standards, half of it we could not comprehend, being the first one. And we've come a long way from that. And that is one of the things which CAHO has actually taken up in easing that journey, trying to make people understand what it's all about. And of course, the lead CAHO team is here. Lalu and I have worked together, and it's always been a pleasure to work with you and listen to you. So it's thank you very much for having me here. I wish you all the best in your journey, and in any way that I can contribute, I'm always available. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Just wanted to tell you when we wanted to go for nursing excellence, so we are thinking of who should train us. The first thing came to my mind, who is better than her? Because I think she has spent months to write the standard, and we had done the training for 2 of our centers. One of them has already gone for, one is on the way. We'll invite you in many more occasions. Please don't say no. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear guests, now the forum is open for question answer session. If you have any questions you want to ask our delegates, please feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Thank you. Kindly raise your hands. We would be passing the mic.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, all. This is Tanmay Sengupta. My question to the delegates is, what do we expect from CQP?
Maybe a little bit.
I think you were there in my presentation.
Yes.
So if you
Little more clarification.
so what I wanted to tell you that first of all, CQP gives you a very structured understanding about what as a quality concerned organization you should deliver. You know that the patient is most important, and patient is the most important subject for the healthcare quality. Nothing goes beyond the patient. Now you need to have some kind of structured approach to achieve the quality, and CQP gives you that. And that is why CQP stands for what? First of all, you have to be an accredited organization. That is the eligibility. You have to have 5 CPQI professionals at least.
Right.
That is the second. And third one is you yourself is doing quality, and preaching quality is not enough for a CQP. You have to train the other smaller organization for the quality journey. That is CQP. In other way, CQP actually gives you the overall understanding that how you can do a quality journey, because quality doesn't start to end with the accreditation. Sir has already told. It starts with accreditation. And beyond accreditation, how you can continue your journey in the quality. That is what all CQ is all about. Right?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I just wanted to emphasize, I want all of you to know he's the naughty guy. Whenever he wants the lesson to be passed on to the people down the line, he'll emphasize me. He'll ask me questions so that, he can re-emphasize that later on. Good.
Yeah, one other important aspect is you become almost like the liaison of CAHO. So what happens here, the CAHO activities in the region, in the particular district or in the area happens through the Center for Quality Promotion also. So you're opening your doors for other large, small, medium hospitals in the region to spread the wave of quality and patient safety in this particular area. As Dr. Shankar said, it's your structured approach. You're put in systems, processes in place, and you're monitoring your outcomes very well, which is why your accreditation has also come and your complete clinical governance, everything is established in this hospital. So the mark of excellence is already there as NABH accredited mark of excellence. Now using this, how do you spread this to other smaller, larger, other hospitals? That's the intent. So you are recognized to be the center because you've got everything in place. You are now going to share your expertise with others also, apart from what you have within.
You become the responsible member of this company. You become, after getting the CQP, a responsible member. I'm loud enough. Go to the ENT. So you become a responsible member. When you become a life member, that you become a legitimate member. But when you become a CQP, you become a responsible. That's serious.
And let me add maybe two more expectations. So number one, you should be proud of being a CQP. So therefore, your logo should be displayed in your place prominently so that you remember idea is not for CAHO, it's for you and for the community to know that why are you a center for quality promotion. So that's what exactly what Dr. Lalu said, that you are now opening your doors for others means you are ready for a continuous inspection. You are not ready like what Jeet said for those 7 days. So now you are ready. You are opening your doors for people to see your quality on any particular day. I think that is going to be making you a real center for qualities. Second is that you must take part in at least 1 or 2 annual events of CAHO. All these annual events are nothing else but I will say like a great congregation of experts getting together for whether it is CAHO Tech, which is bringing technology and healthcare together, or it's CAHOCon, SECON, Diagnosticon. I can only tell you, we look forward to your critical feedback to make it better for the next time. So far, we are very proud that every subsequent annual event of CAHO has given us that kind of a feedback that today we can proudly say that at least 300 or 400 people from across the country are now committed to come to the annual event. They cannot miss it. They have blocked their dates. They will always come. And it is now time that senior people are sitting there and listening. Otherwise, most of them were like ministers. They can come there and give their talk and go away. But here, for the first time, people are sitting, they are listening, they are enjoying, and we are all upgrading ourselves. I can only say, because of CAHO, I'm very proud that even today, I'm learning. Every day, there is something new to learn. And that's what I will say, as Center for Quality Promotion, you need to make that every employee of your institution gets connected to whatever you are talking about and your nearby small and medium hospitals. And I truly believe that it is not only important to promote quality, it is even for your own ethical, commercial interest that you need to connect with them on the basis of quality rather than any other angles that are needed for commercial benefit. So let quality be the glue to promote. I think this is a great tag. We need your feedback. How can the Centers for Quality Promotion be made more effective? What more thing do you need from CAHO in particular? But I'll say that at least organize some training programs. There are 57, 58 training programs which are available. Do let us know that which one makes sense to you. So I think with all whatever has been said, it's the beginning of your another new journey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions?
Hi, I'm Dr. Nivedita. Thank you so much for enlightening us. I just would like to know if you have any set standards or guidelines for clinical research, if CAHO does that.
Thank you. And as Dr. Agarwal mentioned, we are just getting into clinical research. Of course, we started a couple of years back. We have got our research committee, but being an association, we are not able to register our research committee as an ICMR approved research committee. We are working on it. But what we are trying to do is to get into more patient-centric research topics, more on PREMs and PROMs. So last year, we worked on 17 validated PREMs. So many of the hospitals in the region took part in validation exercise. So we had multicentric studies conducted to validate these PREMs. Why did we do that? Because we don't have context-specific PREMs. There are PREMs available at a global level, but those are not appropriate for our context, which is why we developed those PREMs. And now we are working on about 8 context-specific PROMs like TKRs and prostrate, post-prostrate TKR, PROMs and all that. So there are studies at a larger level that are happening, but we have not put down anything specific when it comes to clinical trials or otherwise, because that is already written down. ICMR has got everything standardized and the guidelines are very clearly available. Our focus is more on these patient engagement related, service oriented research. And we have a very, very active body today. So that's why we took over the journal from QAI, Quality and Accreditation Institute. It's now getting regularized. And as Dr. Agarwal said, by next year, certainly we'll get it indexed. So if you are interested in research activities, kindly let Sudip know. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. Kindly let Sudip know, and we'll be more than happy to induct you, because lots and lots of projects are coming to us. We are working with almost 15 pharma now on their educational grants have come to us, and some of the project related on surgical site infections. We are doing 3 studies on AMR. We have done one with WHO on waste management practices. So there are several studies like this that are coming in. So any of you who are interested in research, please let us know. We need lots and lots of hands.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
I'll just add one thing that I can say that we attended, the conference at ISQA, which is the International Society for Quality. And I can tell you the kind of research papers that are submitted over there. I think our own institutions can produce that kind of research work anytime. We have so much of material lying with us, but I think our mindset has to now become research oriented. So what happens that so many times you are taking up a project to improve something, but you are not taking some time to document what was the initial, where were we, what did you do for project, implementing that project, and where did you reach, what was the impact. So I think that every hospital, we are trying to now promote that please start documenting it. It becomes publishable. And that's what we are also trying to do at CAHO, is to create then a multi-centric kind of a thing. In fact, first one was on in something, even like say surgical, we did a first study at surgical site marking as to how do you do surgical site marking? Is there any kind of a protocol somebody is doing with what kind of pen, marking pen? Should it last for 24 hours? Should it last for 7 days? So over a period of time, when you do that kind of a multi-centric work, it can lead to creating of a white paper. It will come up with a standard guidelines, which will be useful for everybody. But I think that a lot of our clinical leaders and administrators now need to just tilt their head towards research, that we need to now document all the, I will say, the improvement initiatives that you take in your hospital. Let us start to document and start getting it published.
Yeah. So the other activities that we do is, of course, our clinical audits and all that. Most accredited hospitals have clinical audits happening. So we have a forum to present your clinical audits. The competitions that we conduct in CAHO Con, there is an area for clinical audits. Then we have best research publications. Now, as Dr. Agarwal said, there are several people involved, but they don't take the time to sit down and write. Including writing services we are now providing, how to actually publish, how to really, because otherwise it becomes very difficult. So we have now taken about 7 to 8 people who are exclusively sitting down and writing. So if you have good data available and if you wish to publish that, we are happy to support, because unless we publish, we will never be able to showcase to the world or to our own people the kind of good practices that are there in our own hospitals. So without publications, without manuscripts, we will perish. So we need to really document what we are doing. Otherwise, somebody else will document the wrong way. So the history will never be what you have done. It will be somebody else's in a very wrong way. So please take the efforts and time. Happy to invite more. Sudip, you have to actively engage with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you for CAHO accreditation. Basically, the problem and challenges we are facing in a hospital right now, okay, like peoples are not coming for the training. We have a couple of trainings. We have a set of trainings and training hours for employee, everyone. But how we will make more attractive to people come, and they should from their own, they will come directly and attend the training. That is the
Challenge.
Everywhere. But the way you do it is what is most important. You cannot, like some of the hospitals that I have visited, they say NABH training. They start from AAC, COP, MOM, PRE and all that. Why would your housekeeping staff want to know, see, AAC, COP, MOM? Nobody is asking them to know everything from top to bottom. So you need to first put down your training matrix to say, these are the categories of people and these are the kind of training that they require. Now, if you have your housekeeping people and start taking theory to them, none of them will be there. They
still there, but people sometimes they don't want to join because they are already in quality subject of the quality department.
That's correct. So don't package it as quality. Don't package it as NABH. Never package anything as quality. So they need to understand why. So that is exactly what we are saying. Good practices, the best practices from others, and don't keep them very long also. Keep them very, very short videos, 3-4 minute videos.
Very good.
Yeah.
Video clippings are very good. Actually,
there are several.
You do, maybe the weekend, just call them for half an hour. Okay. Give them the coffee and something like that, because weekend people are away, and then just put up a small video on hand washing, on other things, like small things. Give the small message. Don't give the bombard with the lot of message together.
I'll tell you
how you can get
you need to collate stories. Please understand one thing. You need to, why should I learn about something? So, for example, whether it is a story of Josie King. Have you heard about Josie King? How many of you heard about Josie King? So the issue is this, that, Josie King was an 18-month-old child who was admitted with severe burns. She fell into a bathtub and she was admitted. She was about to be discharged maybe 2 days later, but right on her birthday, this child died. And died because of the dehydration and because she was given a narcotic which was not required. And then you would have imagined, all right, did it happen in some hospital in Arunachal Pradesh, or did it happen in Muzaffarnagar? No. It happened in one of the best hospitals in United States. Okay. It happened in Johns Hopkins. And the issue is this, therefore, you see, you have to create an impact over centuries, whether it is from Ramayana, Mahabharata or anything. We have always been impacted by stories. So whether you have story of Shri Devi, whose mother died or was operated on the wrong side of the brain, or it is Josie King, and there are many, many more stories for every particular department and function. So you need to, number one, get people attracted towards it. And second is that's why even at CAHO, we are struggling as to how to take the message across to the people. So what we did, for example, now in some cases, whether it is for CSSD, we have turned it that let's try to get hospitals to present how best are you presenting, how best are you doing your CSSD practices. And now more than 150, 170 hospitals are applying to be recognized for doing good CSSD practices. And when they get recognized during our annual conference, the others get motivated. Then they try to know, all right, what are the good CSSD practices, etc., etc. So every time I think you have to develop a strategy, and that strategy will differ when you are in pediatrics department, in orthopedics, in dietitians or pharmacists. Start thinking of the good practices in that area. Start thinking of what should be the zero errors in that particular department. Start focusing on that rather than a global kind of a thing. That's what accreditation gives you, a general grammar. I'm sorry that grammar is not good enough for you to develop a culture of safety.
That's a starting.
That's a starting point. And a great starting point. Again, let us know, I mean, it is very, very important to understand that grammar, it is for you to understand. But around that, you need to make champions in every department and every function.
So I want to take this opportunity to also introduce two major programs that we have launched. Now, you heard about CSSD. The CSSD practices, though we actually combined with the industry to do it, 3M. But 3M doesn't go directly to do the audit. It is the industry experts, our own healthcare people who go there and do the audits. Today, we have audited more than 470 hospitals in the country. Every year, about 130 to 150 hospitals are getting added. Taking this example, because we've got very good feedback from CSSDs that were not performing properly to now where they are. So we thought that it is important to do endoscopy because that is another neglected area. There are lots and lots of infections that come out of very poor endoscopy cleaning practices. So therefore, we have launched our new program called EndoSafe. EndoSafe is for just endoscopy audits. So if you go through the checklist, you will realize there were about 12 experts who sat down, including Dr. Guru Reddy from Continental and people from AIMS and people from CMC, and lots of gastroenterologists sat down, infection control professionals sat down and developed these standards, which are very simple. Now, if your hospitals have endoscopy units, I would urge you to apply for that. The price, anything in CAHO is very less. It is only 10,000 rupees for the overall audit. That's it. You don't have to pay anything more than that. Auditor will come, there will be virtual hand-holding, everything will be done. The second thing is IPC and AMS. We all know the challenges with infection prevention and control and the antimicrobial stewardship. So we have launched another excellence program on IPC and AMS. That again is only 10,000 rupees. But the benefit that you're going to derive, because when NAVH happens or any accreditation happens, the person who goes into the endoscopy area will be just there for 5 minutes probably. That's it. Whereas here it's a full day audit of your endoscopy facility. Or your IPC and AMS will be one full day on IPC AMS. So would urge all hospitals to apply for this till 30th of November, the registration is open. So kindly go ahead and apply for these two if you wish to move towards the excellence practices. Thank you. It's time also.
Thank you. So, ma'am, I just would like to ask one thing. First of all, congratulations to ILS Group of Hospital to become the first Center for Quality Promotion in Eastern India. Now, my questions to you is to become the Center for Quality Promotion, what is the criteria for applications? And Dr. Shankar Sen already said that there are 5 quality professionals has to be nominated for that. Do you have any sort of self-assessment toolkit for this? Do you have any sort of like fees to be submitted to apply for that? So if you just enlighten us.
I will
bit of detail.
Yeah, one small correction is in the eastern region, we have got Bethany Hospital already in Shillong, which is a center for quality promotion. So this is the first one in West Bengal, and also in Tripura.
Okay.
That's one. And to answer to your question, as a Center for Quality Promotion, the criteria we have set forward is the openness of the organization. Now, somebody is coming forward saying, I am open to open my hospital to others to come and learn. That is the most important thing. So we look at the top management commitment. That's the most important one. If the top management is committed to opening their organization, to train other people, to let others come and learn best practices, we are perfectly fine. It is not the quality manager, but the top management. That's one. Second important thing, of course, is the organization has to be accredited.
Okay.
Why are we expecting? Because only then they are in a better position to share good practices. They have a quality culture established. They are continuously improving. So accreditation is a mandatory requirement. Why do we insist on 5 quality professionals? When we say quality professionals, they are not quality managers. So we can have clinicians. We typically ask the hospital to nominate about 5 to 7 senior people, maybe clinicians, nurses, technologists, administrators from engineering services, along with the quality team to attend this program. We conduct what is known as an advanced CPQH program, which is a residential program that is for 4 days. We typically take them through every aspect of quality. It's not just NABH. We teach them how to implement standards, how to train, how to prepare presentations. So they work as groups. It starts at 7 a.m. in the morning and it finishes at 9 p.m. in the night. With some break in the middle, we take them across the countryside. It's basically a team building exercise and for them to commit to CAHO. That passion is important in CAHO. If they don't have the passion, if they're looking at financial benefits, CAHO is a pro bono, not for profit organization. So we want them to commit to that, which is why we take them for this advanced program. Now, once they come on board, then they are sold out. Okay. So that's the most important thing. Now, the continuity of the organization, we see attrition. People come, people go. But for us, this is a center where we are getting connected. Now, even if 1 or 2 people whom we trained leave the organization, still we have continuity. So at any time, we insist on the organization to have at least 5 people. If 2 people resign and go, in the next 6 months, other 2 will come get trained, which is why we ask for continuity. Again, to apply for this, it is 10,000 rupees. I don't know why CAHO, everything is, it's easy for us to account. So it's a one-time fee, it's a yearly fee that they pay, 10,000 rupee fee. And then they have to show their commitment to our CQP forum, headed by Dr. Joy Chakravarti and Rama Raj Shekhar Madam. There's a presentation. And if they are convinced also, and all of us are convinced, then we declare them. Once we declare every 6 months, that's what I just put up, that we have to have a review every 6 months and an annual report, what Dr. Shankar talked about.
Thank you very
Thank
much. Now it is absolutely clear, ma'am.
Perfect.
Thank
Everything.
you. We will
Thank
take
you.
a last question.
No, and I would just like to reiterate what Madam told. So we had sent a few people, and I would want one of them sharing their experience. Why don't you, Moitro, come? He went for advanced course and he has experienced it. We sent different people from different domains. So one was head of HR, he is head of, emergency. One was operations, one was maintenance, and all of them came with such a great learning. They have taken this across the organization. So I would want him to share an experience in 2 minutes. So it really helps.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, thanks to the organization, I was lucky enough to be sent over there. As ma'am told, yes, the first day it was almost 9:15 when we finished off. Second in the morning, it was walkout time. Walk the talk. But it was again a learning session. We were doing certain exercises. Sir was telling us 5 minutes or 3 minutes of certain things. इसके बाद उस टीला के ऊपर. Again we walked. The suspense was created. After that, again sir said, इसके बाद वहाँ नीचे जाके. And it was a learning experience again. And the great thing was, we had a team activity over there. I coming from east, somebody from south, somebody from extreme north. We all collaborated over there. It was not only a learning in quality, it was a learning in a team building exercise also. And as ma'am rightly said, it was a fun time also. We were taken around the place. It was a beautiful place. we had a sightseeing activity. We came to know about the history of certain areas. And at the end of the 4 days, on the fifth day, it was a drilling session. The viva and the examination was there, online examination. But we enjoyed that also. So it was a great experience. And actually, I'll say something. I'll take another 1 minute, sir. Cannot stop myself. 2006, 18 years back, I was a member of that team which got the first accreditation in India, as the ma'am and sirs told. And again, 18 years later, the first institute or organization to be getting this accreditation. Again, it's my privilege. I'll tell one thing. After attending this session, which was placed at Bangalore, many a times, actually, I started my career from housekeeping. So one question repeatedly used to come up to me. Accreditation organization ko mila. Logo organization ko mila. Down the line to the last person, humko kya mila? It reverberates, it haunts me till today. But after attending that session at Bangalore, I have the answer. Believe me, I'm standing over here, getting the goosebumps. But that answer is there with me. If today any of my team members ask me, I can explain it to that person. What you will get along with the organization. That CAHO has given me.
See, and this program, you can imagine that how important has this become. This program is recognized by the Health Sector Skill Council. We have never talked about it. The examination is conducted by the Health Sector Skill Council. So there is a, so it's one of their first upgrades upskilling program. We are not even marketing it that it is recognized by Health Sector Skill Council or something. So that's the power of this program, that they sought after the, linking this program to Health Sector Skill Council rather than the other way around. So thank you very much. I think your feedback is our energy. Thank you so much.
And post that training, they have conducted the trainings throughout the organization. So the ops guy has trained the other ops guys, maintenance guys. So it has got replicated throughout all the different units, which has made a lot of ripple effect. And I'm sure it will, spill over the positivity across all the units, not only to this. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. We will.
One more thing. We have been also working towards clinical governance, which, as sir pointed out, for every specialty is very different. The approach in pediatrics versus the approach in surgery versus the approach in cardiology is going to be very, very different. So we are trying to put a clinical governance structure, and I'll ask Samrat to elaborate because we are working together towards it. Definitely, it's challenging, and we require a lot of guidance and support on that front to make it happen. But Samrat, would you mind to elaborate? It's like
I'm in the same situation as you are. It was unexpected. So before that, when Vijay was asking regarding the training and all those stuff, we need to grow on training and learning. That's why this forum is. The experts are here. They are going to train us, and we are going to train further. And quality, as I said, if I want to improve the quality of my life, I will have to work on it, not somebody else. So those things are comprehensive. And I think Mr. Subramanian has given the best talk of advanced civic graduate. You could have recorded and let's put it on. That's a Okay, so coming to clinical governance, we have already developed a policy which are basically segmenting into 6 to 7 domains specifically. So one is the practices, the clinical governance and the practices, monitoring of the clinical governance areas. Focus on the clinical indicators. We are trying to merge in the clinical indicators as per some international standard, not only the NABH. As I told you that we have, and so we try to align it over there. Next is clinical risk management, special focus on clinical risk management. Next is clinical incident reporting. Many of the cases it is underreported, you don't know. So focus on clinical incident reporting. Next is mortality and morbidity review. And as a group, there has to be a peer review and also which is unnamed. I hope you know, I mean, I'm not explaining onto that. One file goes over there, you don't know who has done it, so unnamed one. Next is governance and leadership, proper org structure running to clinical areas only. And next is patient-centric care, as we talk about involving the patient, counseling the patient, consenting, explaining the consent, these areas. Information management through IT, all the EMR and all the EMR-driven activities. Next is education and training, learning through CMEs, lot of workshops, conferences, such kind of gatherings, what we're focusing into, and next into clinical research. So more or less, these are the gamuts, our policy, I mean, actually going through the policy documents. Okay, so these policy documents are ready. We are brainstorming in ourselves how we can implement it. Many of the things are implemented. We'll look forward to improve on that also. Thank you. I think we can, that's the session left for the question and answer. We are already running out of time. Even though still some area we are running ahead of time. I think it was a very good question and answer session. Over to Suban.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Gautam Hazarika, sir, requesting you to kindly conclude the session with a vote of thanks.
A very big namaskar to everyone. First, let me start this session with a line from Rigveda. Ano bhadraha krato yantu vishwatah. Let noble thoughts come to us from all sides. In this room today, in this session, beautiful session, with wonderful, charming and bright people. What I felt is noble thoughts all around, encompassing us, engulfing us, in fact. And I was overwhelmed also. See, quality cannot be accidental. It has to be intentional. Mark Twain, long time back, mentioned, he defined accident. Accident is an incident where presence of mind is good, but absence of body is better. But now, this is just one line from Mark Twain, but how do what I want to say is it cannot be accidental. Your presence of mind or in quality has to be intentional. So this CAHO Con, I was just wondering, as I was listening to a lot of speakers and their wonderful speech, ideas, which elevated your mind, your senses, and you felt great. So this is the ocean I am in now. So having heard from CAHO Con leaders, such wonderful thoughts, what struck me is, if you ask, say CAHO Con, CAHO, who is CAHO Con? So there's just a humorous answer. CAHO Con is one with whom you associate and you have one. This is one. And if you ask in Hindi, say CAHO who? CAHO who? CAHO Con. Correct. CAHO quality ka don. CAHO Con quality ka don. These were just a few thoughts coming in. I thought I'll share it with you. Now, having said that, quality sometimes can be overwhelming for an administrator. An administrator in a hospital has to look up to a lot of things. But when you come across, I also thought of a model, how to absorb CAHO Con, the principles, the very structure. Then I have a small Buddha statue in my room. And whenever I go out, it is just near my door. So I just bow my head. So Buddha, his principles, besides the 8 principles, the whole Buddhism is basically encompassed in 3 sayings. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Now, today, I am in the Sharanam of Buddhas. Wonderful leadership of CAHO Con. What it states is you first interact and connect with people, single individual. That is Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Buddham is that knowledge, that information, that an information applied for years and that turning into wisdom. So Buddham Sharanam. So through CAHO and other quality meetings, I know I have connected to Buddhas, the wisdom. Then today I am also connecting Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. So that is the Sangham, the quality confederation, the conferences where you meet people wanting to do quality, wanting to elevate their qualities. So Sangham Sharanam. So the conferences are important. We meet. So I'm just applying that model. Then Dhammam Sharanam. With all these activities, where do you arrive at? You arrive at the Dhammam. Dhammam means what? The dharma. The quality is also a dharma. We all know those definitions, small things that is being said is what is quality? Quality is something that you live or do even when nobody is looking at you. So that becomes a conscience, that becomes a value in you. Only there is, if there is a value, you are driven, you are passionate about it. So with these words, I also say that our traditions have said wonderful things like when we come together, this becomes important. We generate ideas, we talk ideas, we amalgamate them, and we take them to our hearts, and then they evolve into activities which they bring in values and qualities or effective implementation. Say uh, this is not just a responsive kind of a responsibility, quality to the patient care. And our world, the center of our universe is nothing but the patient. Patient is the and patient safety will and pay outcomes, great clinical outcomes will be achieved only through quality. And this great movement of CAHOCON is not only inspiring, but it gives us tool how to implement them, how in your own areas, in your hospitals, and within the people. And as some time back Vishal sir says, we just received the best place to work. So I also believe quality is engaging with people, engaging within and without, and that is what framework the CAHOCON is slowly creating. With these few words, I am extremely not thankful but grateful to all the wonderful leaders of CAHOCON that are here today. It has been a very inspiring and elevating experience for me. This is one, and all the participants, all from other hospitals and within ILS, all those who have come, I really want to extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to everyone for being here and making this a great, successful session. So I will end this with a traditional thought, which says, samgachadvam samvadadvam samvo manansi janatam. That is, samgachadam. Let's all come together, go together, walk together. Sangachadvam samvadadvam. Let's talk in one language. Quality has one language. It has to be known and implemented. Sangachadam samvadadvam. Let's talk the same language, the same framework, and be inspired by the same idea of quality. Samvo manansi janatam. And whatever we know, it should be more unified, more in sync with each other. So with these words, once again, I bow my head to each one of you, and with a great namaskar, I conclude this session of. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hazarika. I take this opportunity to thank all the dignitaries and guests for taking the time out from your busy schedule and attending the inauguration ceremony. We conclude the session here. I request everyone to proceed for lunch, please. For delegates and guests attending the CXO meet, you are requested to proceed to the fourth floor for lunch. Thank you so much.
you